Eugene Robinson isn't dead, but that's pretty funny. Eugene Robinson's ghost coming to Atlanta to go to Strokers in Magic City. Yeah, I would do that too. From K Baby Tyson 3000, he says ATL 1 ? He got a bunch of question marks. Hell no. Spud got 2 dunk titles. Neek got 1. Oh yeah. Okay, bro. Well, I'm sure you're just trying to be facetious, but I meant professional sports titles. You know, somebody else mentioned in the chat room on Spreaker.com, don't forget about Georgia Tech's national championship in 1990. That's college. All right, so that doesn't count in the conversation of professional teams' sports titles. The Boston market has 37. Atlanta's got 1. Atlanta's got 1, man. Corey, he says, Bomani loves to say that the NFL Man of the Year gets popped looking for hookers. Yeah, Bomani, but you know what? I understand where Bomani's coming from. Bomani said he had to basically, separate his emotions from Atlanta sports because it was too hard. And this is a perfect example of that thinking. Like this is hard. This is hard. And for people that don't know, Bomani Jones is from Atlanta. He actually went to Clark, Atlanta. I didn't even notice. I think he spent a huge portion of his life in Texas, or maybe even North Carolina. I know he was in North Carolina when we first had him on our show in the Two Live Stews back in the day. So I don't know what the connection is between North Carolina, Texas, but I know that his Wikipedia says that he was born in Atlanta and he went to Clark Atlanta University. But he says that he's not going to root for Atlanta teams, and he's not a supporter of Atlanta pro sports teams because they break your heart too many times. And this is a perfect case. I get it. Miss Mocha Bella X-Squad says, I like saying the name Balls Deep. Okay, Mocha, settle down. Settle down. From K Baby Tyson 3000, Gary Money Joyner, salute fam. From JB Jennings, he says right. Raheem has a defensive background. He was a defensive assistant with the Bucks, then became head coach, and then went to Washington and coached the defensive back. So no shade, but he sure is ready to call plays for an offense, but not sure he's ready to call plays for an offense. Yeah. As much as I want to see a black coach get a job promotion and get an opportunity to be a head coach again in Raheem Morris's situation, he's a defensive guy. Now, he's coaching these wide receivers, but he made his bones. He's known in the NFL for being a defensive coordinator and for being a defensive guy, period. So, yeah, hey, they made him a wide receivers coach for the Falcons this year. So maybe it's that easy, and that's something else I've never understood about the NFL as well, how you will take a guy that coached defensive backs one year, and he'll go to another organization, and he'll coach running backs. And he may have played defense in college. He may have played defensive backs, and I think I asked this question before to somebody, and they were like, pro teams want head coaches, guys that are grooming to be head coaches, to be familiar with all aspects of the team, offensively, defensively, and special teams. So a lot of cats that end up getting head coaching jobs, they had done something at one point on defense. They had done something at one point on offense and special teams. Maybe they were head of a special teams one year or whatever in the NFL as well. It just doesn't make sense to me, but that's what they do. Why I don't understand why they won't give this job to the quarterback's coach for the reasons that I gave a couple of minutes ago is another mystery to me. But, hey, that's the NFL. I don't get it. I don't like a lot of things they do in the NFL. I don't like the fact that there's this culture that if you're a quote-unquote dual-threat quarterback, you have a harder time in the NFL and, you get less acceptance than drop-back quarterbacks. I don't like that either. So there's a lot of things I don't understand, I don't get about the NFL. But, yeah, I don't think Raheem Morris, being a defensive-minded guy, should take over the play calling. He wasn't around Kyle Shanahan this year. If you want to keep that consistency thing and that stability thing going I talked about. He wasn't around the offense. He wasn't around Kyle Shanahan. Could he do it? I guess so, but I want that consistency thing, man. From who do we got here? From Sidney Jackson, Chip Kelly was running a read option offense with a quarterback who was big and slow, had bad knees with Sam Bradford. He would get Matt Ryan murdered on the field. Guess so. I agree. I mean, I'm a fan of Chip Kelly, but you got to have the right personnel to do what he does. I mean, there's just no getting around that. From Corey, could be the head coach feels that the league has tape on Shanahan's offense and they will know how to slow it down. Heck, that's why you can say the Patriots did the second half. I don't know. I think the Patriot thing and what happened in the second half of the Super Bowl was an aberration. You know, cats get a coordinator, and he's the coordinator for, you know, one player's entire career. I don't remember his name right now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That's something that was talked about a lot with Peyton Manning when he was in Indianapolis, and his offensive coordinator. Like, they always talk about how, you know, these quarterbacks, you know, these particular quarterbacks, they have so many different offensive coordinators. They got to learn a new system year in and year out, and how that's a negative thing. I remember for many, many years, they talked about the fact that it was the same guy calling the plays for Peyton Manning for so many of those years in Indianapolis. Like that's what was good was because Peyton knew the playbook like the back of his hand. And you remember when he went to Denver? There was some talk about, you know, is Peyton going to be able to adapt to this new offense? Because, once again, he had the same playbook from what I remember the majority of his time in Indianapolis. So I just think that stability trumps all. You know, you go into training camp in the offseason with a brand new playbook, which a playbook in the NFL, I've seen an NFL playbook, offensive playbook. It's like 1.5 inches thick, okay? And they don't run 90% of that stuff, man, but it's stuff that they have to learn. You have to spend time on this stuff to learn it, you know? Like Tiger Woods. This is another example. You listen to the Doug Stewart Show. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand why Tiger Woods was dominating the first 5 years of his professional career in golf and get rid of Hank Haney. What's this guy's name? What's his name? Haney? Or it wasn't Ledbetter. Ledbetter was the first guy. I think it is Hank Haney, if I'm not mistaken. But Tiger got rid of his swing coach. Why would you do that? Yeah, they may not have gotten along. The personalities may have clashed. But this ain't personal. It's business. Why would you change everything about your swing when you're dominating? Why don't you continue to do the same things that you've been doing and just continue to get better at it? You know, practice makes perfect. So if you are perfect right now, all you're going to do is continue to get better. So I never understood why Tiger got rid of Hank Haney, man, because he was already dominant. Why would you want to change and learn a new system? And you have to go through the growing pains. You have to figure out all the little quirks of a new system, a new putting style, a new swing coach, and all of that stuff. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't get that. I think stability. If Tiger Woods would have continued to do what he did the first 3-4 years and just improve upon that, which you have to, once again, practice makes perfect, is just improve what he had already been doing. I mean, he probably may have already passed Jack Nicklaus in Majors 1. You know, we'll never know now. And I don't think Tiger Woods anytime soon. He's already been through a couple of swing coaches. And I don't think anytime soon he's going to go back to Hank Haney. He's just not going to do it because it's like this pride thing that's involved in it now. You know, it's this pride thing. Man, the hell with that. I don't get that at all. So I don't know. I don't know. Raheem Morris as head coach. I don't, or not head coach, offensive coordinator. I don't think that's going to work. From Redland Kirk, Butch Harmon. Was it Butch Harmon? It might be Butch Harmon. From Gary G Money Joyner. Tiger sucks. So does golf. Stop talking about it. Tiger does suck right now. But talking about Tiger is better than not talking about Tiger at all, as far as golf is concerned. From Dell, WW Eve, Tiger needs to join the senior tour and clean up. From Y'all real cruel, man. From D, Hornets perpetually bad. From Clay, I'll be damn Davis. Peyton H.G.H. Manning put his balls in the face of a female trainer. Never forget. He did do that. He did do that. From Sidney Jackson, when coaches go against Belichick, they always feel they have to outsmart him instead of doing what was working. Shanahan wanted to prove how great his offense was, and his bitch ass cost ATL a ring. Now, 2 years from now, he will be fired just like his red-faced, overrated-ass daddy. Maybe. And a lot of people around here I talked to, man, talking about how the Falcons just stopped giving the ball to Devontae Freeman, which it appeared. And I don't know what adjustments the Patriots made in halftime, and clearly they did. It appeared that the Falcons went away from what was working. I mean, not only could you have killed two birds with one stone and running out the clock, but you also could have moved the ball. Clearly, they couldn't stop Devontae Freeman in the game the other night. And they just stopped doing it, man. They just stopped doing it. They had everything that went wrong. I mean, holding penalties. We talked about it yesterday, man. On third down, they had a couple of holding penalties, man, consecutively. On third down where they had stopped them. I mean, just everything that could go wrong went wrong, and everything that could go right for the Patriots went right. I mean, it was almost like once again, somebody was controlling the puppet strings of these teams. It's just bad. It's just bad. Oh, it's just bad. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Corey, I started hating Mike Shanahan in his later years in Denver, but one thing you can say is that he was a proponent of running the ball. He definitely was that. And Corey is a resident Broncos fan, I think. He got mad at me the other day, I think it was yesterday, and saying how I didn't think Terrell Davis should be in the Hall of Fame. But, yeah, they ran the ball. As I mentioned yesterday, even when Terrell Davis was gone, it seemed like every year they had a back that flourished under their offensive scheme there and that zone cut blocking thing that they were doing out there in Denver. So I don't know, man. From Angry Black Man in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Surely gonna be something angry. Angry Black Man in the chat room says, bruh, can you give me an ETA on how long the Falcons could have, would have, didn't solidify, will go on? In other words, of the ghost of Denny Green, the Falcons are who we thought they are. Or were. It's tough. Yep. What did viewership look like for Super Bowl 51? I'll tell you up next. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.